Again, I'm just going to start with an introductory comment. This is Kevin Guthrie, Emergency Services Director for Pasco County. This is a 1 o'clock update on where we're at in the storm, and I'm glad to have Chairwoman Commissioner Catherine Starkey with us, and I'm going to let her lead off this press conference. Commissioner Starkey.
I guess it's good afternoon, and I would like to say to the residents of Pasco County, we are going to do what it takes to get you back on your feet. We're going to keep looking at ways to improve our infrastructure to help you. I would like to thank the Public Works, Emergency Management, all county staff, and citizen volunteers who have helped out during this storm. We have a lot to do, but we will work together to get this cleanup done. Approximately $89 million in damages has been identified. Pasco County documented 2,672 homes and properties impacted by the storm. As of 2 days ago, the Anclote River was the only river in the United States at major flood stage. The Anclote River should be completely out of flood stage by Thursday. And now I'm going to turn it over to Kevin.
All right, thank you, Commissioner Starkey. Specifically, I can run those numbers if anyone wishes to have them ran as far as exactly how much damage we've had. Probably the most significant numbers are 305 of those homes of the 2,672, 305 are major damage and 7 are destroyed. We are in the process of collecting our public assistance damage. And what does that mean? That's our public buildings and things like that. These numbers we just shared with you, the 89 million, is only out of homeowners. So we will be continuing to assess our damages at the county level on our infrastructure, but we are looking at most likely a $30 to $50 million loss or damages that we will be submitting up to the state of Florida either later today or sometime tomorrow. We will have an itemized list of what is going to be going up to them. Again, when we have that itemized list, we'll either put it out via press release or do another presser tomorrow. We continue to ask residents that are in Pasco County to go ahead and get their debris to the road's edge. What we're asking you to do is separate that into white goods, vegetative, furniture, and other miscellaneous items. It makes it easier for our folks to come along and see what type of equipment they're going to do or whether they're going to need to pick that up. So again, we are not picking it up right now. We are actually doing the assessment to see what equipment we need to come back with to pick that up and do it effectively. We will most likely have a plan that will allow for 1 day a week for the coming weeks to pick up debris that is storm related. What's specific to this storm that we do not have, we had a hurricane, but in Pasco County we had more of a flooding event similar to what we had last year. So as we continue to pull sheetrock out of homes, as people make their repairs and things of that nature, carpet, so on, we know that our citizens are going to need they can't get it all to the curb today. This is going to be a long-term process. So we're aware of that. We're working with our contractors and our vendors to make sure that we're able to meet that need. Our public works professionals are able to meet that need. And but that's where we're at in this phase. We are working hard to get the shelter closed. However, as long as we still have victims that their homes have been flooded, we're going to continue to leave the Fasano shelter open. We are in the process right now of sending out our public safety crews to do assessments of those homes to see if they can actually get back into their homes. We know that there's areas along the Anclote that people can't get back into yet. We know that there's areas in Bass Lake, Lake Worrell that people cannot get back into yet, as well as the area around Massachusetts Avenue. So that's what we're doing at this point in time. I'm going to go ahead and take questions. We have extended our local state of emergency for another 7 days. We just, myself and Ms. Baker just worked on that this morning, and as of about, give or take an hour and a half ago, that was extended for another 7 days. But I believe, Josh, does that answer your question? Okay.
Can you
Casey?
explain that? You said 89 million in properties impacted by the storm, but is that businesses and homes? Or
No.
homes?
This is just homes, Casey. That's a good question. We're working through our economic growth department today to work with our corporations and our small businesses to find out what their damages are. For instance, we already have been advised that Regional Medical Center at Bayonet Because of the lightning strike that hit them, they've suffered $3 million in physical damage and approximately a $10 million loss by their hospital being closed for several days. Again, our economic growth department is reaching out to businesses today, and they'll probably continue that into tomorrow to see what the impact is here locally on those businesses. But again, to your question specifically, that number is just homes that suffered some type of damage, whether, again, as we've been talking about the last couple of days, that's affected, minor, major, and destroyed, but that individuals saw some type of damage on their property.
One last question. I just came from a business owner on Congress, just south of Ridge Road. He's been flooded in 2012, 2015, and 2016 now. What can be done for a business that's going through all this?
Again, we put that information out today. We would ask that individual and any individuals in Pasco County that are businesses that have suffered any damage. We're asking you to work through our economic growth department, and I'm going to ask Tamara to slide me a number up here for economic growth so that they can get to those individuals. But we're asking them to contact them so that we can do a corporate damage assessment or a business damage assessment on those individuals. We do have people in the field going on the businesses have called us and said, hey, we've got some damage. We've got them going business to business right now. Again, as I mentioned, Regional Medical Center at Bayonet had $3 million damage, $10 million in lost revenue. I'm sure that this individual, as you mentioned at Congress, on Congress, has the same thing. We want them to reach out to us. So what's available to them? We only have to have 5 small businesses in Pasco County that say that they suffered an economic loss during the last, let's call it 5, 6, 7 days, and then they could be eligible for Small Business Administration declaration to help, perhaps a loan. I don't know all the the granular details, Casey, but there are programs out there, and it only takes 5 businesses to show that they have suffered a loss to qualify for that program. We have 25 businesses that have to suffer damage, and then there's other programs that become available. So it's very important for them to call us so that we can help them as well.
And what number?
I tell you what, we're going to give you the customer service line as well for that, but it's 727-847-2411. It's, again, 727-847-2411.